Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to CGL. Actually, the match which was played on Xbox One. We've now switched consoles, and we're over to the PlayStation 4 and a Diamond here, so slightly below the game which you just watched. I am joined here by my co-caster, commonly known as Ed Ramo, which you might have seen in yourself.
Yes, hello. Happy to be here, casting PS4 side for the first time for me. I'm normally, Xbox born and raised, man, but now I'm crossing over.
Well, unlike Head Rama there, I see a few people in chat might know. Obviously, I'm up to 015. I have covered quite a lot of these PlayStation 4 games, and I've actually covered, especially Kulture Esports. I've covered their quarterfinal match, and I also covered their semi-final match when they beat the, I think the only team that was unbeaten at that point as well. So they certainly, most people say they are the underdog. They were the 8th seed. We have to remember that going into the playoffs. And I think I'd have to ask you, Rama, if you don't mind me calling you that, obviously. I mean, how would you think they feel? You know, you're the 8th seed. You've had kind of a disappointing regular season, you'd have to say, but you win 2 games back to back, including beating the only team that was left unbeaten. I mean, how do you feel going into this final? Do you feel like you're the favourites now after that?
I don't know if I would feel like I was the favorites, but I feel like it's almost a time to... It's almost like a kind of new life. So, okay, our regular season didn't go too well, but we've taken out an unbeaten team. You put so much effort into it. You're now in the playoffs. It's a new time. The regular season doesn't matter anymore. You're at this point in time where you can make your name in the playoffs. You've already taken on that big team, and you have that momentum. I mean, they're a team that wants it. Clearly, they have the ability to win. They've made it this far, and they've already taken on those teams. And I think I would be hungry. I'd be hungry for that win.
I mean, yeah, obviously we mentioned about the prize pool. I believe it was $500 if I remember right. I've gone for the Master. This one's slightly lower. $350 is on the line today, which is in comparison to yesterday's match, which was a Masters for $500. So still, a decent amount of money for either one of these teams really to win. And obviously, we were saying there about Kulture Esports. I mean, what a comeback that is! You go into the playoffs, and you end up winning the whole thing. Maybe they are going to be full of confidence, but could confidence maybe get the best of them? You have to remember this is a grand finals. Is there going to be nerves? Is there going to be, is there going to be more mistakes potentially made because you realise how big this game actually is? It's not just, a casual scrim or a casual comp match. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what comps as well is also going to be ran by these teams, because we just obviously saw the NA games, and from what I saw the stream anyway, I was sort of in and out because I was actually playing competitive at the same time. But there seemed to be a lot more sort of DPS comps every time that I was looking, and I don't know if that's maybe just more of an NA thing that they kind of sort of don't play as much GOAT. But the map types, I think they kind of designed it in a way for the GOAT competition as well. So maybe it might come down to who has the better GOAT competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we'll be starting out here on Route 66, our first map.
Yes, so not Hanamura.
Yeah, not Hanamura. And I do actually have the ready up here from both teams, so it looks like we can go on here. Oh yes, we do have quite the lineups here on both teams. Both teams are rocking some pretty stacked lineups. Here on the Kulture Esports side, we got some names that I'll admit probably gonna struggle to pronounce here. We got Quad Ziki, age 25 from Franklin. What'd you say there?
Yeah, you said that right.
Oh, I did. Excellent. First try.
I got the name wrong quite a few times.
Yeah, we got T Gray here. I am Anna, Hamider, Voidal, and Killer Beast 8288. Now on
I am is obviously I believe they actually are the team captain, but they're not playing the first match by the look of it. So interesting, bold strategy. Captains not starting themselves. Has faith in his, the roster obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And now on the Nohbdy side, we got Alloy Light, Hack Attack Corey, Ricky James, Basic Angular, Daegu 12C, and Poofy with a dash at the end. You can't forget the dash. All of these players are actually, comparing the team ages, looks like Kulture Esports, a relatively young team, versus Nohbdy, which is actually an older team, at least in terms of age of the players.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people do mention about reflexes get slower as you get older, which, perhaps I don't believe myself, but you know. But I guess we mentioned about the hunger that Kulture Esports would have, and I guess being a younger team means they would have probably more hunger as well because they want to win their tournament. You know, maybe win their first ever tournament.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit maybe of the Shock, like the San Francisco Shock. Very young team coming into it and taking the win here, this last stage finals.
Okay, let's maybe not get too carried away with ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so you know we've made you guys wait long enough here. Like we mentioned earlier, Route 66 being the first map, we have both teams on the ready. Why don't we just get right into it?
It's not Hanamura.
No.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. All right, there. Slight technical difficulty.
How long have we got? Yeah.
So Route 66. I want to hear you. What do you think of this map?
Well, yes. It's going to be very interesting to see the competitions that we run. And it's obviously we did just see the map was played in the NA game the Xbox One game, also from NA, and we saw both teams get howled at the first point, which was very insane in terms of how solid the defense is. Route 66 is the map of many compositions. You can see the GOAT DPS or quad DPS if you really want to get extreme amount of damage. It's going to be interesting to see maybe at first, it's first map, so do any of these teams take a risk and go out of their comfort zones? So I expect to potentially see either a GOAT for GOATs matchup or like a bunker and defense and then sort of try and counter bunker, if that makes any sense, in the attack. Yeah. So like a but obviously it's a bit too soon to make suggestions now. There's still plenty of times for switches, but I do have to mention about obviously the teams coming out. It looks like, just to remind everyone, if you're watching by the colours, it's Kulture Esports are the blue team, so they're going to be on defense. Nohbdy are the red team on attack, and it looks like they will be going, as I mentioned, for that bunker composition. No Baptiste though. They're going for a Lucio instead, so they're going for that speed boost.
Yeah, they want to make those rotations fast. I'll admit here, I'm not super familiar with the meta on PS4, but I've definitely been seeing, at least in the matches so far I've watched in our grand finals, not really a whole lot of GOATs.
There was a lot more GOATs that was ran in the playoffs, and it kind of resulted in a lot more sort of 3-0 series, but since people have moved into the semi-finals and finals, there seems to be a lot more teams sort of going for these sort of different compositions, maybe ones that have practiced and they didn't want to show earlier. Looks like on attack though, we will have that dive composition that I mentioned, the Sombra Genji, to try and do sort of an anti-bunk up there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Diego gets trapped. Beauty of having the junk out there by Tigray. That's a nice early pick for Kulture Esports. Just go drop to the point, just contest it for a little bit.
Oh,
trying to get underneath right now. I guess they're not really playing dive right now, Nohbdy. They're just trying to get some progress on this payload to get around this corner before they set up a dive. Unfortunately, that pick onto the Genji slowed it down a little bit, and already bunker cops are very well, they're very well known for burning us time off the clock. For 50 seconds has already been burnt. Now comes another dive. Fully will fall on the Bastion. I wonder if a res is going to be attempt to be made there. It looks like they were just body blocking the bodies, so it can't happen. Pardon the pun. Diego's going to fall to Tigray, but they will lose the main tank of Quadsky, who's just going to get res back up. So the Mercy res has now been used. Early tire coming by Tigray. There's actually Transcendence coming out, but it's not enough to keep the Ana alive. Ricky, remember, Tire still goes through Transcendence. It only keeps the Zenyatta alive. Hack will come out onto a Tigray. That is actually weird enough. The Junkrat gets hacked. Maybe not the target that actually wanted by Fufe.
There's still somehow in this.
They're still in this right now. They're still brawling it out, and you can see the payload's moved even more now, just past the big oils here, also on the high ground. Void is back though on the Bastion, and it's going to finish off Alloy on the Winston, and the DMX going to also come in. And just like that, the fight's going to be stopped eventually by Kulture Esports. They only give up a little bit more percentage, and Rama. Wasn't this where the payload got stopped on the last match we had on Route 66 as well, weirdly enough?
Yeah, but I'm really surprised they weren't able to push that further. With the picks they got in the beginning, I thought for sure they were going to be able to like fully open up and almost take first point. And I'm still surprised, kind of what you mentioned earlier, that they're running the Lucio instead of the Baptiste. I think the Baptiste would allow them to have survived that first kind of dive onto them where the Bastion was taken out.
Well, we do have to mention the EMP bomb combo is now aligned for Nohbdy, so this is going to be obvious counter. And Blade as well. They've got Nano Blade as well to clean up afterwards. A lot of ults coming online for Nohbdy. Excuse me. Sorry. There is the EMP for the bomb.
Everyone but Lucio.
Bomb gets 2. Also gets the bongos as well. The turn bomb's going to be coming out. Bomb killer bees. Very dubious potentially to go for that Diva bomb. I think it's more of a rematch. T-Guy will get a pick before he dies and doesn't actually get his tire off though. Before he'll fall to pack attacks, or Corey, I should probably say, on the Diva. It looks like they will get the first point in just under a minute. Well, bang on a minute actually, in fact. So they'll gain 2.5 minutes. Looks like some switches are going to come in now on the defense. The Reinhardt switch. The squad's going to go back to the Lucio after just switching to the Zen temporarily there. And T-Guy is going to go to the Hanzo. They're keeping a Void on this Bastion right now. He does have the tank form, so that might be the reason why. Alloy is getting really low on this Winston. He will actually get picked off by Killer Bees. That's a huge pick. Decides to knock him off the Primal Rage to get out there. Wants to save that ultimate. They've got some nice progress on the point right now. They've got it through this little choke, but Kulture Esports are realising that pick, and they're going to get a little bit more aggressive here and make sure they're holding this point. Some PL's going to come back in though, because Poofy's still on this Sombra trying to get a late pick onto T-Bray there. I think there was a hack that came into the Hanzo, so the team reacts. Kulture Esports are just holding this corner right now. They definitely do have the advantage, the shield advantage with the Bastion as well.
But Bastion being on the low ground presents a problem for them. He could easily be rushed down.
Yeah, he can. He could easily be dived onto as well. But T-Gray is going to get a nice pick onto Diego, so the Genji is now down. The hack tries to come in, but it's actually
oh, nice Bionade.
Void is down. Looks like the race is going to be made. It will. There's a Primal Raging Nano Monkey though coming in. Maybe a bit of miscommunication about the ultimates there. Trance is also committed by Basic here after the fight. Looks kind of lost. Dragons is going to come in by T-Gray, just get some cleanup kills by looking through this little room to the side of the little petrol station. What is it called? It's garage actually. Sorry, pardon. That's my English from out there. We'll end up just cleaning up the fire. It's nice to sort of some stagger kills coming in there for Kulture Esports on their defense. Left with only one ultimate though, which is the Diva Bomb. And oh, this is interesting. Poofy is going to make the switch off the Sombra to the Tracer, and Diego, who actually had the Blade, has now switched over to the Sombra. So they sacrificed the Dragon Blade, which I was about to mention is one of the ultimates that they did have. Corey is going to send in his bomb. The Dive's going to try and go in with it to try and force the Reinhardt shield to go down, but it doesn't work. So all ultimates are now down. The bomb's going to come in by Killer Bees. Is this one going to be better? It doesn't actually get any kills.
No.
Poofy gets really low though on the Hanzo. If he could take the body shot from T-Gray there off screen, or at least off my screen anyway.
Bastion's sleeping though.
He's just waking up instantly. The advantage right now on the point is definitely for Kulture Esports because they have this Reinhardt, but he's just been hacked as soon as I say that. But Diego pays for that hack with his life. Alloy still has on Primal Rage now. He's built up another one. Poofy is going to forward again. The Bastion getting another kill. Alloy gets really aggressive. He's going to get picked off by Killer Bees with the help of the damage boost from Mercy, who's also going to be T-Gray. And right now, Kulture Esports definitely looking a lot more solid on the second point. I think we do have to mention though, nobody saw. They're definitely playing into their hands, in my opinion. I mean, what do you make of it, Rama? I think just the comp that Kulture is winning is just better right now for the second point.
I mean, it's definitely better at this point because they're kind of all in one of these corners, which is working out really well for them, and they're not having to like, almost spend anything. But you just you kind of just see Nohbdy just kind of run in there willy-nilly one at a time, and they just get burned by the Bastion. And then when Bastion's kind of out on his own, they either don't punish him, or when they do punish him, they just he dies and they just leave, and then he gets rezzed again. But see, like again, we have Allied Light there going. He's just getting picked off. They're They're just kind of they're doing this poke battle. But if you look right now, look at all the ultimates that are up. There's 6 ultimates right now for Kulture Esports. Oh, a massive shatter.
T-Greg gets another pick on to Poofy. There's a little bit of a delay there. Sorry about the breaking commentary, but we're going to go back into it. Killer Beast gets a pick onto Basie. Diego comes in with the EMP, connects with a couple, but I don't think it's going to be enough to turn the fight. The bomb's going to come out. Not going to actually find any kills, and Killer Beast and T-Greg just clean up a kill a piece. Hudsky is just going to get an extra kill there on to Alloy after the Primal Rager being popped. And right now, just Diva left trying to steal the point. And I think this is where the payload's definitely going to be stopped now by Kulture Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. It really just felt like people were on the. It felt like nobody was not on the same page. It feels weird saying that was the team name's Nohbdy, but it felt like their team just wasn't on the same page with their engagements. They kept trying to do these types of dives, but it wasn't. Everyone wasn't together with it. And when they EMP'd multiple times, and I don't know if they ever really got a good value from it. They took first point, but mostly that was the bomb that did it. Because even though they hit a 5-minute EMP on first